Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing great. Welcome to my another video which is about the GICs. So in this video we're going to talk about what are GICs. So I'm going to give you the simplest example or simplest definition actually for the GICs. So GICs are called guaranteed investment certificate that offers the guaranteed rate of return for the particular time period. It means that the investor receive their principal payment plus the interest. That's it. Now, for example, I have 2000. I'm putting into the GIC. I'm getting 2000 with 22%, let's assume. I'm getting $20 over the time period of a year. That is simple. Very simple. That is called the GIC. Nothing complicated at all. We are going to talk about the features. We are going to talk about its types, what are the advantages of the GICs, and why you should start with the GICs. So let's get started. So first of all, GIC is offered in the Financial Institute of Canada in around 1960s, and it is a great investment option, especially for the beginners. Why I'm saying for the beginners? Because this is the safest option if you are starting your investments, if you have some funds and you want to learn how things work. This is the safe, your principal is secured, and that's for sure, and you are earning the plus interest also. So for me, if I'm gonna suggest someone who is just starting the investment, this should be their first step. It is also really good for those who really cannot really take any risk, who are looking for short-term investments. So these are the three main things. These are the three main sort of investors for me that should consider GICs. Now I'm going to talk about what is risk and return. So think about every time you can handle the greatest level of risk, that means your return will be all to the top. If I'm the person who cannot really take any sort of risk, like I cannot see my principal of $100 to go little down, I cannot really see, that means my return will be lower. So this is the simplest, both are directly proportional to each other. If risk is increasing, return is also increasing. If you are not taking the risk, that means your interest will be lower depending on the risk you are taking. So what is the first thing people are thinking when having the investments? The first one is depend on their risk tolerance. If I cannot really take that much of risk, I will not go with mutual funds. If I'm the person who can take the risk and I know I have a long time period with my investments, I will go with the mutual funds. If not, I will go with the GICs with the term. It is also called as the term deposit. It's just like term deposit have a longer term, or the GICs have the lower, like starts with the months and go up to the years. But the term deposits are mostly started with the years only, not months. So that's why the term deposits and the GICs all are same, but it just depends on what is the time frame you're investing it for. So these are the two things people think before doing any kind of investments: their risk tolerance. The second one is what is their goal, if they have a long-term goal or if they have a short-term goal. Based on their goals, they go with investment options. As simple as that. Now we are gonna talk about where we can have our GICs. It can be in your registered products and it can be in your non-registered products. Now, I have already mentioned what are the registered and non-registered investments in my other video, but I will also share this one in this video as well. If you have a GIC in your TFSA or the RRSP, yes, you can do that. You can put this kind of investment inside those two separate registered products. The reason why it is really going to be beneficial for you, the first one is whatever the growth, whatever the interest you're gonna earn, it's gonna grow tax-free. You don't have to pay any taxes. You don't have to consider it as a taxable income at all. This is the great advantage. Second one, you're also doing a contribution, like you are making sure your room, whatever the room available to you, you're contributing it. So it's good. So we can also invest into the non-registered term. That means there is nothing like not a TFSA or not the RRSP that is protecting your money. if you're putting into the non-registered, you have to pay the taxes. For example, you earn $50 on the principal, and that $50 will be considered as a taxable income based on your tax margin. That's all. Okay. Now, who can open your GICs? Banks can open your GICs. Trust companies can open your GICs. Credit unions can open your GICs. There is not a particular criteria that I mentioned in the TFSAs, RRSPs. As long as you have money, go invest. That's all. Okay, now the really important thing whenever you go open your GICs, it is really important you are understanding each and every term, because every kind of institute have their own terms, own offers going on. So make sure you're understanding the things. Make sure you know what kind of interest you're getting from that particular investment. Make sure you know what is the time period. Make sure you know what kind of GICs you are redeeming or you are having, because there are two type of GICs. One is a redeemable, the another is non-redeemable. Now I will tell you the difference. What is the difference between the redeemable? So as we already know, the principal is protected. You are having your interest on the top of it. But if I'm saying it's a redeemable, it means we also like banks also say it's a cashable. Both are same thing. It's just two different names. By saying that, you can redeem that term. Like for example, after 6 months, if you go and take it out, the money out from it, you can take it. It's redeemable. It's not gonna have any side effect of it. Like you don't have to pay any sort of penalty for that. So redeemable and non-redeemable on the other side, you cannot really take out the money. If you did, you have to pay the penalty, and every institute have their own penalties. Either they're not gonna give you the interest, either they are gonna reduce your interest. So based on that, so the redeemable one has this one has usually lower interest one. On the non-redeemable side, the interest rate is little higher. I feel like it's usually 0.25% difference, but again, it can be changed, not really all the time. So for example, redeemable GICs from a particular bank giving you 3.75% on 1 year. Non-redeemable give you higher because they want your money to be locked, right? There isn't a flexibility difference. Redeemable gives you the flexibility, non-redeemable doesn't, but the interest rate is also higher with the non-redeemable one. When they're locking your money, they are lending to another people, right? And that's how they are earning the interest. They are taking little portion to them and then giving some out to you. So that way you are earning and then they are also earning. So this is how actually banks earn money. They lend to others, like they lend to lenders who need the money. So that is also the main reason why non-redeemable has a higher interest rate. What are the advantages of the GICs? First of all, this is a low risk. Your principal is guaranteed. It is also guaranteed by CDIC, Canadian Deposit Insurance Corporation, up to I think 100,000. Again, you have to check. For example, in case of bankruptcies, in case of the financial failures, your money is secured. So that is why it's a secured and a low risk investments, because your principal is guaranteed. You are earning that interest and that is guaranteed. So this is a low risk one. The second one is growth is guaranteed. You don't have to worry about it. If they are saying the 4% you're earning, that is pretty much sure. $400 is, yes, this is what you are earning for a whole year, which is good, right? What are the other example? Advantages is flexibility. You can take it out the money if it's under the redeemable. You cannot if it's under the non-redeemable. But depends what kind of GICs you have. It gives you the flexibility. Now, as every coin has a two side, where this also has a disadvantages. The first one is definitely doesn't really give you high return. The return is low. It's kind of low growth, and if inflation is high, for example, next year, you're not gonna cope up. Like your value of the money is actually decreased if the inflation rise to 5%, which is really not. So not really gonna happen, which is really high. But suppose suppose inflation increased next year and your rate of return was only 2% or 3%, that means your purchasing power is decreased. So this is the negative or the disadvantages of having the GICs. The another one is low liquidity. If you really need the money, for example for the emergency purposes, and your money is inside the non-redeemable, you don't have the really liquidity, you cannot really go and take it out, because that means you haven't earned any interest. Again, depend on what kind of penalties your institute is providing you, but it is not a great liquidity, but yes, it provides you the flexibility. So this is the main and the basic information about the GICs. Now for example, you put your 2 years GIC, and when it's renewing, banks usually calls you. They call you what is your purpose of the funds, if you want to really renew it or not. So depends, if you have another goal of your another goals in your life with that funds, you can change your investment types, you can take it out with the principal and interest. But yes, there is an option to renew or remature this one with the same term. Now in this way, you are not earning only simple interest, this way you are earning compound interest. In simple interest is like you are getting interest on the whole term. Compound is you're earning the interest on the interest you have earned, so that means more money. So simple and compound interest, redeemable and early withdrawals, that was the penalty that I discussed. So I'm gonna explain some of the tips by my side. So if you are like negotiating your rates, this is what sometimes I follow, and I want you to do it as well. If you have like good relation with your bank, if you are with them for a long time, and you are asking them that this is the GIC you're getting at this rate, try to increase that rate a bit. Ask them what is the best rate you can give me. They will, most of the time they do increase it. I personally sometimes do it with my banks, that this is the time this is how long I have been with you guys, what are the advantage I'm gonna get. So they sometimes increase the rate, like instead of 4 point they're gonna give me 4.50. So this is, you can also follow, try to negotiate your rates. It's not really gonna work out all the time, but you know, there's no harm on telling or asking. The second tip I will mention here, do not just go with your bank and ask them, okay, this is the rate you're getting, okay, I'm locking my money. Try to go around or shop around with different banks. I know, like where I used to work at, they have the like best rates. They sometimes go do the what it's called the campaign, the 6 months you're earning 5.9% bonus, even on 2%. So try to shop around. Most of the banks have their different rates, try to get those ones. It's just not like that you are with this bank for that time you're gonna go with them. Yeah, it's good thing, but try to shop around, because some of the banks have good bonus, good campaign going on. Try to take the advantage for that. Okay, the third will is decide what is your goal with the money, how long you can afford to take it away from you. If you have goal, if you know what is it for, take a decision based on that. Do not just randomly go and put your money aside, and in tomorrow you need the money and you don't know where to go. So the reason I'm saying it, if you have the goal, you know why it is like you put it aside. It's gonna give you like the clarity of the mind also. So always have a goal and know what is like where you are putting your money and why you are putting it away. Okay, so yes, it is about the GICs. We have talked about different kind of things regarding the GICs. I hope I was a little clear. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions, please comment down below. Your every kind of questions matters a lot to me, even if you praise me or not, but it does really matter. So if you have anything, if you have any suggestions, leave down there. If you have any thing to say me so I can improve, please leave down below. It's gonna be really helpful for me. Thank you so much for watching again. I hope you liked it. Bye. I'm not gonna speak aloud now.